10-minute mark.
Okay, thank you. I'll be in 5.
Okay.
My dad died in 2011. I never understood what my own mortality meant to me until that time. I've always been fascinated with the afterlife, but when he passed away, that's all I can think about, and it's become an obsession. If there's anything you can let me know or tell me, I would really appreciate it.
Willow's Weep is a home shrouded in mystery and tragedy. Built in 1890, Willow's Weep was constructed on a 60-acre farm. And before Cayuga, Indiana was established, it was the only home to stand there. And over the past 100 years or so, there's been many mysterious deaths, 3 of which were suicides in the home. Now that raises some eyebrows because we look for places with these types of tragedies for recipes for hauntings. The tree and the legend behind the tree is also significant because of the stories that we hear. Now, the anecdotal evidence of people meeting, with tragedy when they come in proximity of the tree or come in contact with the tree and desecrate the tree is interesting. The reason it is interesting is when I was doing B-roll footage of the outside of the house underneath the tree, it was the first time I've ever been touched by something that I can't see or explain. It was like telling me that I was touching the tree for too long and it was a no-no. I am very skeptical of these types of phenomena when it happens, and I'll be honest, I do still doubt being touched just because that I feel like it's impossible. My rational mind tells me that it is impossible, but I know what I felt. As you'll see on the footage, you will see the camera move when I'm being pushed.
Sorry. Just want to document that I just got my shoulder rig tugged on really hard. That freaked me the fuck out.
But I will tell you that it is not subtle, and you should take me seriously and the testimonies of my investigators, along with all the stories Brenda Johnson and other investigators will tell you about the tree, that it is not to be messed with. Time will tell if we'll discover what explanation there is behind that.
Brenda.
Hi, Brenda. Nice to meet you.
Diana.
Jerry.
But we made it. I've been wanting to come here for 3 years. I'm finally here. Does that sound crazy?
No, I tell you what, I know people that's never been here and tell me when they get here that the house comes in their dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was telling you, I don't go back in there.
Right.
I've not been in there for almost a year.
I understand. I mean, if you're getting attacked, then there's no reason to.
And there's and I never had a problem, with it before. And when I bought the house, me and my son was in there, and I don't even know why I bought it. I'm from Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Mom, I'm going to move down. He lives in Peoria, Illinois, which is 100 and some miles from here. He's like, I want to move down, closer to you. And so I said, well, let's go drive around and look.
Mm-hmm.
And I come over here. He said, well, I don't want to live there. I said, why? He said, I don't even like that looks of that place. I'm like, I don't even know why I'm here.
The more I heard about it, the more I was wondering about why all that was centered in that one area and what the tree itself had to do with what happened there on the land. And I was kind of wondering, because it seemed like, you know, everyone that touched the tree or had anything to do with the tree, something happened. But also the people that were in the house had a lot of depression and sadness and everything else. And when I went out there, the first thing I thought of and I felt was just an overwhelming sadness.
It was a creepy place, I know that. I didn't like the tree though. Of all the stories she told about the tree. And the house, it was a weird layout.
In 1890, when it was built with all the acreage, it was valued at $40,000.
Wow. Wow.
And each of them rooms on the sides, the bedrooms on the side, upstairs in the attic, you can't get up there. The only way is that outside window. It's the only way.
Now, see, that's
You can't get into the attic.
No. No, even when we dropped the ceilings, we thought, well, there's got to be a way up.
Right.
up there.
No. That window out there is the only way.
That makes no sense.
No, but it is. And so they said he was superstitious, is why he built the doors and windows in corners and closets are in corners, and so I don't know. And they say that ghosts go in straight lines, and I'm not sure about it, you know.
I've heard about that.
And that willow tree out there, I'm sure you've heard about
Yes.
it. Yeah.
We won't mess with it. We promise. We don't play around with that.
Yeah.
The willow tree, do you know how old the willow tree is?
Well, my husband has been here since 1967, and the willow tree's been here. And I tell you, I won't even cut it. In fact, there's a limb that hangs over that driveway. If you notice that there's a rope going over, I won't even cut it off. I'm not gonna mess with it.
Yeah, because I've heard everybody that's messed with it's had
My
bad.
neighbor man that lives on the back street back there, he was out there one day and he's gonna clip around the house or something. I said, Rock, whatever you do not touch the willow tree. I'm not. And he's like 65. So I go over here, and I'm over here, and I happen to see this van stop real fast, and it's backing up. I'm like, I wonder who that is. So I walk over here. There he is, laying across the driveway by the fence with the shears right beside his head, and broke his back. He made one clip on that willow tree.
The willow tree is an enigma. The house, too, is strange. Immediately, my tech assistant Jerry Clough experienced physical phenomena while setting up CCTV cameras in the house.
I was unrolling the cords from the kitchen all the way to the room where the wheelchair was. And I just kept unrolling, hooking stuff up. And I didn't really notice it, but it felt like something hit my back. But I really didn't notice it. I got back out to the garage and I said something about my back was burning. And that's when I noticed I had 2 scratches on my back, which was kind of like the other place I was at a couple years ago, which was, no. That one was, no.
2 scratches were seen when we inspected his back. At this point, we knew we were in store for an eventful evening. We do an EMF sweep of the home and find that there is no reading inside nor outside. There's absolutely no electricity connected. After setting up CCTV cameras and our audio equipment, we discovered that our REM pod was activated approximately 25 minutes after we leave the house entirely. We find this to be very common during hauntings where the activity displays behavior that suggests a negative reaction to living people in the home. We provide you with this audio and video data. Any feedback is appreciated. We began our EVP and ITC research in the home, and very little, if any, activity is occurring, although I begin to experience a strange vibration on the floor that I cannot explain. It seems like it happens in response to our questions, but this could be a coincidence. You be the judge.
We would just like to know some answers about why you both chose to take your life.
Big thumps on the floor.
Because you made that choice, are you trapped here?
I heard it. Man, the floor is freaking me out. What is that?
There's nothing moving. I mean,
Are you guys feeling it on your feet?
I don't know if it's just because.
Go ahead and stop the recorder.
I don't know if it's just because my one foot's asleep all the time, but the other one just feels like tingling.
It feels like there's someone walking, but without hearing the footsteps, and you feel the floorboards moving, yeah.
We try to get the spirit presence in the home to respond more directly, but after an hour, the activity ceases entirely, and we leave the house once again. I return to set up our motion detector to see if we can capture any movement in the house while we are outside in the garage. What we capture during this time is extraordinary.
And in this doorway here, there was a lady that lived here, and her son hung himself in this doorway. So when you come into the kitchen, you'll come in this door right here, and then you'll go this way, and it's that doorway right there.
So how many people, I'm sorry, how many people's died in the house?
7.
7? That's what I thought.
And in this front room, this front area here, is the only room with no closet. And they showed 3 bodies I know of in there, of the 3 men that passed in there. But yeah, I don't like that house no more.
No, I don't blame you. It doesn't seem like a friendly, there's a bunch of unfriendly stories.
The only thing good that's happened since I bought this place here, it's caused me and my son to even be on the outs. Yeah, and we've been on the outs now for 4 years. And I met the guy next door, and me and him got married. But the last man that died in here committed suicide. He was my husband's best friend. And he went in there. He's a non-believer. He was till he went in there. And then one time we were sitting out here, and it's just like a guy got up and he just walked all the way across here and just disappeared into the wall, you know. And my husband's eyes got about like that, you know.
I think that they were trying to see whether we were sincere. Are we there just to bug them, or were we really there to hear what they had to say? Because like I said, if I kind of think of it as, you know, how would I feel? Okay, people coming in, you know, I'm not going to be playing your games. If you want to listen to me, then you can listen to me, but I'm not going to be your circus act, you know. And I think it was kind of where they were trying to do subtle things and trying to do some other things, but I think they were kind of trying to check us out to see whether, you know, were we being honest, were we being respectful enough, and did we really care to hear what they were trying to say? And I think when I was in there, I just kind of felt, you know, I felt sorry for the ones who, you know, who took their own lives, and I felt sorry for the ones, you know, who, that had to be so sad and so overwhelming that they just thought, you know, there was no other way out, that, you know, and I just felt their, you know, the sympathy for them. And that's kind of what I got. You know, other places we've been have had that, but it's not as, you know, as strong as what this was.
We set up, we went in, nothing much happened. We had a few interactions maybe, but most of the activity happened when we left the home and left equipment in the home as we left CCTV cameras running. Now, REM pods are research tools that was activated while we were not in the home, but motion detectors aren't clear-cut. Either they get set off if there's motion in the vicinity or proximity of the range, or it doesn't. And that indeed went off, and we heard sounds as soon as we left the home to take a break. It seems like someone just got up, walked into the room, sat down in the chair, and just like they were living there. That's very strange, but what you will see are solo sessions, why we sit down in the chair that was used by the man who committed suicide with the evidence of blood. Our tech assistant, Jerry, did indeed get more interaction physically and more interaction with electronic voice phenomena. As you will see in the film, that we do present that evidence, and we want you to take a close look at that, because EVP evidence is the strongest evidence there is in paranormal research to present somebody, to let them know, hey, is this a voice from the dead, or is it just figments of our imagination?
The chair is the site of the last death in the home. 6 years after his wife took her own life by pill overdose, he decided to take his own life by shooting himself in the head after a long fight with cancer and deep sorrow. Since Jerry seems to be the target of the physical phenomena, we let him do a solo session in a chair first.
What?
I showed her. Okay, I'm standing in a smoke area. I'm facing, you know where you walk back to the bathroom? On the gravel. I see a little fucking white with his on, back and forth for about 5 seconds. I thought, what the fuck? So I go over and look. Alright, there's nothing there. Curtis, I'll sit in the chair.
Yep, that's rolling. Rolling on your camera. Of course, use your headset mic, and I'll have you use this too. EVP session, Jerry solo. It is 1:34 a.m.
Is that you touching my arm? I feel somebody touching my arm. Is that you? Is your wife with you? I know you're here. making noise for me. Is that you just hit my leg? Is that you just hit my leg?
This Class A EVP is rare, and it blows our mind that we captured it. Not only is it clear and coherent, it's a perfectly timed response that answers Jerry's question with spooky precision. Notice the interference before the EVP. This is further supporting evidence that interference like the kind heard on Jerry's recorder is associated with EVP. It allows one to hypothesize that electromagnetic interference is not only common when capturing EVP, but is necessary. Disembodied entities cannot produce acoustic energy like the living can with their voice. They have to produce a customized interference with the microphone in order to simulate speech. It is not only difficult, but it is rare that this occurs. Is this the man who took his life in the very chair Jerry is sitting in? You be the judge.
I want to conclude this video by telling people who are interested in investigating this place to use caution, to have respect for those that might be in the home in spirit still. We do not provoke the spirits when we investigate, simply because we have respect for people and spirits in the same way. If you think that you should go in this place and provoke, I'm very confident that you're not going to get a reply, and if you do, it won't be good. This place is not to be messed with. People who commit suicide are usually very desperate, very angry, and if they have the gall to shoot themselves or to harm themselves, don't think for 1 second that they won't harm you. The tree is not to be messed with. There's definitely things going on with the tree. Please heed the warnings of the owner about the tree and other investigators. Things happen. It's not worth the risk to, you, your family, or your other investigators when investigating Willow's Weep.
I honestly think that the people who have died there are trapped there. And I don't know if it's because they killed themselves there. I don't know if it's because of whatever was there caused them to do that. But I think they are just kind of lost and kind of stuck there. But I also think that there is something keeping them there. Take it seriously. I mean, a lot of people go into investigation and they'll say, well, it's all for fun and games. There are some places that you go that are not fun and games, and it can be very dangerous, as we, the lore that they have about the tree. Take that serious, because there's been too many things that have happened that I would not call coincidence.
Is the reason why you still keep ownership of the house and don't try to sell it is to try to help research, or do you feel some kind of strange desire to keep it, or?
Well, I've been offered to sell it.
Right.
And I've came close to it, but then something tells me, it's like an omen to me,
I understand.
And then I thought, well, maybe I'll just take this whole garage down right here, because we have another property up in Rockville. We got 40 acres up there, and I thought, well, just take this barn and move it down there, and then something says don't touch it, You know. Then my husband, his friends was over here one day. There was 3 of them. And I was telling them, you know, I said, Tony, whatever you do, just leave it. And they're not ghost hunters.
Right.
They're nothing. They're just his friends. And I said, that willow tree's treacherous. Don't mess with it. And he's like, I don't believe in all that. I said, okay. You know, I don't care. I'm just trying to warn you. So he whacks off a hunk of it, lays it on the dash of his car. When they left here, 85 mile an hour, straight into a cemetery, head onto a tree.
Into a cemetery?
A cemetery. They went straight, they come around this curve straight into a cemetery and hit a big tree, blew the windows, every window out of the car.
But did they live, but they got messed up?
Oh yeah, they lived, but they're still messed up.